Hey you! As some of you know, my channel is also a game show. Subscribers can win $100 this month. If you've subscribed to the channel, all the rules are in part 4 of the video. So watch part 4 and comment here in this video. We also have an exclusive interview with Darrell Brooks himself at the end of the show. Let's get started.
These constant mumbling and interruptions during the proceedings. I haven't made a record of them today, but I will now. Started at 9:01, then there was 5 at 9:02, 3 at 9:03, 4 at 9:04, 2 at 9:05, 1 at 9:06, 3 at 9:08, again at 9:17, 9:27, 10:31, 1:05. There was talking over by you at 2:03, 5 interruptions at 2:14, 2:15, 2:17, at 2:19, audible muttering, 2:31, 2:33, what I would describe as inappropriate, like muttering under your breath, 2:35, at 3:06 there was the hilarious comment, at 3:11 there was what I would describe as arguing about the muttering and the irony of it all. At 3:12 there were 4 interruptions. At 3:37 more, 4:09, 4:10 more mumbling, at 4:11 twice, and at 4:12 9 different times. I've made an ample record of the disruptions today. I've been abundantly patient with you, so I'm warning you, do not interrupt again. If this jury comes back, or when they come back and you do that, then you will be removed and you will forfeit your right to be present for the examination of this witness.
You might as well remove me then.
You're not going to delay these proceedings today.
I'm not trying to delay the proceedings, so I wish you would stop being incorrect on the record and saying what I'm trying to do if you don't know that. You don't know what I'm trying to do.
I'm bringing the jury out. I'm not going to argue with you.
Then don't. Because I'm not arguing with you either. I'm stating facts.
You're raising your voice. It's
because
very
I'm tired of you.
I'm advising you to be quiet because the jury's coming back out.
You're advising me to be quiet? Is you telling me to be quiet?
To be
We're all adults in here. I've never told you to do anything at all. But somehow I'm being intentionally disruptive. Come on, man. Stop. Just stop it.
Jury's coming out.
All rise for the jury.
Not gonna work. I'm supposed to be scared of getting removed or something.
Would it be fair to say that to the, I guess that would be my right of the screen, you can see a white looking SUV by the...
To the west. That video is probably from several hundred feet to the east of where I am. So
several hundred feet? How would you estimate that distance?
I know where that video is taken from and where I was standing. That's an estimate of about how far.
And you know that for sure?
It's an estimate.
And with all the people in that general vicinity, with that in any... You said you've been in law enforcement for 7.5 years, correct?
Correct.
I'm sure you've done a lot of investigations in that 7.5 years. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
So you do understand that during a police investigation, any suspect is innocent until proven guilty. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And so with that knowledge, why are you so adamant about the name of the suspect that you the name of the suspect and when you were asked?
Good afternoon, Miss Babias.
Correct.
I'm surprised I got it right.
Yes. And I'll object and move to strike. I think this is a misleading question. We're at the beginning of the video. Those taillights are not the vehicle in question.
Where did the taillights come from then?
A different vehicle.
I had no idea what had happened at the parade. I thought it was just, I witnessed a hit and run crash. I had no clue what had happened at the parade.
So you just said now you witnessed a hit and run crash. but you also said that you didn't investigate the crash that you heard.
Correct.
So how would you characterize it as a hit and run crash if you never investigate what you heard?
Because I heard a crash and then the driver ran.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Yes, please. Thank you, Your Honor. You testified that you're getting paid today as you sit there, correct?
That is correct.
By the city of Franklin?
Yes.
Okay. State of Wisconsin's not cutting that check.
The objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Hearsay.
Overrules.
Just the city of Franklin's paying, no one else.
Do you get paid more money if there's a guilty verdict?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. It's not hearsay.
If you did get into a pickle, you wouldn't be able to call for backup, would you?
Objection, the speculative still has a cell phone.
It's not speculative. He may answer the question.
Would it be fair to say, and obviously you said you've been in law enforcement for 7.5 years, correct?
Correct.
I'm sure you've done a lot of investigations in that 7.5 years. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
So you do understand that during a police investigation, any suspect is innocent until proven guilty. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And so with that knowledge, why are you so adamant about the name of the suspect that you so adamant about the name of the suspect? What do you do for a living?
I am a law enforcement dispatch supervisor.
From your opinion, observing the vehicle approaching your position, did it appear that the vehicle attempted to strike anyone?
Yes,
And why would you come to that conclusion?
because I saw an officer have to jump out of the way.
Seems almost as if you're recalling what you want to recall and purposely not recalling.
Objection.
Don't.
Badgering the witness.
Yes, sustained. You do not have to answer that, and you are warned. You may not badger or argue with this witness. Next question.
Badger or argue.
Mr. Brooks, ask your next question.
I'm gonna get to it.
Thank you.
You were there with 2 kids?
I was, yes.
What were their ages on that date?
Objection.
3
relevancy.
and
Overrule, the witness may answer.
Of course it's gonna be overruled.
Mr. Brooks had sit down. And I was asking a question.
Mr. Brooks, please sit down. Mr. Brooks, you're not asking the questions.
I'm not saying
I would
anything.
ask you to sit down, please. It is disrespectful to this witness and to the state and to the court.
No, it's not. Not doing anything wrong. I'm merely standing here. Were you injured in any way during the incident?
No, I was not.
And at the time, being where you were positioned at, you've already said. Did he say he saw anyone driving the vehicle?
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustained.
So all that the Mr. Lascano, all that he told you was the location of the vehicle, not if he saw anyone driving?
I object. That question calls for hearsay response, Your Honor.
I would agree hearing that again. Sustained.
Did he at all tell you that he saw someone in the vehicle?
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
It's hearsay. To ask him what Mr. Lascano told him would be hearsay.
So all Mr. Lascano did was just direct you to the vehicle.
That's correct.
Do you recall Mr. Lascano yelling that there were subjects standing outside of the building where
Objection, Your
the
Honor.
vehicle
I'm going to
was?
excuse the jury while I take up a legal issue. All rise for the jury, please. Mr. Brooks, before I have you question this witness any further, it sounds like to me that you are attempting to offer through this witness the statements made by Mr. Lascano. If that is what you are trying to do, you may not do that. You will have to call Mr. Lascano as a witness if you so choose, if he's on your witness list. But that your questions are seeking to elicit hearsay from this witness. That's why I had the jury removed so I could explain my ruling and why I'm going to direct you not to ask this witness questions about what Mr. Lascano may or may not have said.
I'm reading directly from his report.
That would be double hearsay then, because it's not you need Mr. Lascano here to say what he told this officer. If you are attempting to offer it for the truth of the matter asserted, which is what I believe you are doing, you're attempting to establish the veracity of something Mr. Lascano either said or didn't say through another witness. That is hearsay.
So it's not hearsay for the prosecutor to bring up.
I'm not going to talk about other rulings. There's been an objection by the state, and I'm sustaining the objection, and I'm directing you not to ask this witness questions that would call for this witness to say what Mr. Lascano said. That is hearsay. That is textbook hearsay, Mr. Brooks.
And then I don't think it's fair for me to object to hearsay from the prosecutor. Then I don't think it's fair for me to object to hearsay from the prosecution.
And I'm not going to have a debate on what may have come in previously. I know you've made a number of hearsay objections, many of which the answers that were being provided were not hearsay. But I would direct your attention to 908.01 of the Wisconsin statutes. You have that book in front of you that I provided to you a number of days ago at the beginning of this trial or near the beginning of this trial. There's the definitional section of the statutes which defines hearsay. It also, and then if you go on to 908.02, that's obviously one you may want to look at as well. And then 908.03 has the exception. So unless you can give me an exception, sir, as to why this witness should be allowed to answer those questions, I'm going to, again, direct you not to ask these questions.
Directly from his report, the report that he wrote. Nothing is coming from. I'm reading directly from his report. That's what I have.
Doesn't change the fact that it's hearsay. Or you can convince me there's an exception to the hearsay rule that applies. Do you have an exception you'd like to offer to the court?
So I might as well not read the report that he wrote then if I can't question him about the report that he wrote.
That's your misunderstanding, sir, what is hearsay. And all I can tell you is I'm sustaining the objection. I'm going to bring the jury back out, and we'll go from there. All right, Madam Clerk, bring the jury out, please.
Clear bias. Clear bias.
Most likely, this is the last part of the funniest of Darrell Brooks. Part 5 is the finale. So we have a special guest, Darrell. No one knows how to say his name because he won't admit to having a name. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Darrell Brooks. Say hi to everyone at Pejman TV, Darrell Brooks.
Good afternoon.
Darrell, you said a lot of words that we couldn't even find in the dictionary.
I can go on. I can use a lot of words.
You sure can. So anyway, you're in jail right now, but you're going to eventually go to hell.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel about that?
I guess I won't know for sure until I'm actually there.
He's right. You won't really know until you're there, I suppose. Darrell, so what did you think of all the videos we made here?
Disgusting. Despicable. I can go on.
Where did you get educated?
Like a gas station?
A gas station? They believe you. A lot of people thought you sounded very stupid.
What do you mean by you?
You can go now, idiot. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.